Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin TV, episode 307. I am Raymond, ruler of the greatest pod on YouTube and author of the Dolphin Wars series of books. Welcome to another exciting, fantastic review segment. Tonight, we're going to do a double dose of the Fantastic Four, all the way back from the Kirby days. We're going to wrap up the annual. We're going to wrap up the annual FF annual number 1, and then we're going to go to do issue 10 of the Fantastic Four. It's going to have surprises. Before we start, please, if you enjoy, it, what we do here, the reviews, the reviews, the interviews, the fun and chaos of Just Cuz, please like and subscribe and show your love for this channel. And please watch the episodes so that way we can get the watch hours up, and hopefully we can get monetized and help keep the lights on here. But in the meantime, if you are so inclined, StreamYards is cooperating with me. Please click on the link up top of the chat to put some ducats in the bucket and help this channel again. Help the channel again, keep the lights on, and the fun going. Hello, Trike.
What do you want?
We have Trike here. He is barking. I don't know what he's doing.
What?
He's, I don't know what he's doing. It wasn't enough that he did the shenanigans over the past set. But he's, I'm not sure, Legatus. Does not the live watch hours count, or is it only rewound hours? I am not sure. I think both do. So, and hello, Matt G. So let me welcome everybody who is here right now, and get this going here. All right. Hello, Matt G. Welcome to the chat. And we got the amazing lifeguards who help keep this channel safe and the chaos less chaotic. First off, remember, this is King Dolphin TV in color, a Sandra Feliciano presentation. Love you, honey. We have now the new first one in, the last one out, FKHC 2005. You win a no prize, my friend. And the one who's really the first one in, last one out, who's on the second I open up a stream. Look at us, Legion Eye, researcher extraordinaire. And then we've got Fez Forever, John Rendell. How you doing, buddy? And finally, the biggest, the baddest bear on the internet. You know him, you love him, you're scared of him. Oh, hi, Trike. Hi, Trike. What you up to?
Terrorizing Mama.
You're terrorizing mommy, huh? Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, but We're here to welcome Snora Pupas. Dun 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 dun. Snora Pupas. Cuber. Hey, Trey. Hey, it's my segment. Quit barking.
What do you want?
Quit barking.
What do you want?
Hey, Snora.
What?
Glad you're back. Glad you're back. All right, let's get this show going. It's clobbering time. All right. So,
Charlie, what you want?
Trike doesn't like the bear. CT? What is CT? Okay. CT. What is CT? Barky bark bark. Yeah. All right. So that's everybody who's here right now. Looks like oh yes. CT, clobbering times. Yes. We miss you, Clobby. We miss you. All right, so time to get to the story. Before we did FF Annual #1, where the first story had the FF meeting up yet again with Namor, and he finally found his people, but of course, him having feelings for Sue messed all that up. So now he's all alone again. The Fantastic Four defeated him. So that's where we're at right now. So this is how they did the annuals. And again, I got all these from 44 years of the FF. So it's all 44 years of Fantastic Four stories, and good and the bad. But we're going to continue in sequence the annual. Yes, I am, and proud of it. Nerd. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All right, so here we go. Okay, let's get this done. Okay, so after the main story, they show all these posters. Like they got the Mole Man, they got the Skrulls from Fantastic Four 1 and 2 respectively. We got the Miracle Man, Fantastic Four 3, the Submariner, and then they had questions and answers about the Fantastic Four. It asked questions like, why is Mr. Fantastic's hair white at the temple? Is he older than he looks? And remember, this was in 1963. So it said it turned white during the Second World War when he aided Allied prisoners to escape from the Nazis. Let's see. What's his suit made of? How can it stretch? And it's because of unstable molecule. And then you've got questions of Johnny. Johnny Storm. How old is Johnny? He's 16, senior year of high school. How far and how fast can he fly? It depends. The faster he goes, the shorter his limit becomes. At normal speed, he could be able to fly 20 miles per hour. And the reason his clothes doesn't burn up is it's treated by the same molecules as Mr. Fantastic. Okay, then we got Sue Storm. And questions. Can she make any part of her body invisible while the rest of her is visible? And yes, she can. If she marries, would she leave the FF? It would probably depend on who she marries. Why can't she walk through walls? Her body is still solid. Her favorite hobbies: fashions, cooking, cosmetics, and reading romantic novels. Boy, they had a shallow viewpoint from her. And again, she's got pictures of both Reed and the Submariner. And then Ben Grimm. Is he really as bad-tempered as he sounds? All we say is, if you look like the Thing, what would you have? What kind of disposition would you think you'd have? Who's stronger, Hulk or Thing? Although the Thing would angrily deny it, Hulk is actually stronger. Why does the Thing only have 4 fingers and 3 toes? It's just the way the rays got him. When the Thing turns into Ben Grimm, does he retain his tremendous strength? And no. As Grimm, he's strong. He's a strong, athletic man, but when he becomes the Thing, his normal strength is increased to an almost unbelievable degree. All right, so questions and answers about the Fantastic Four. All right, and there is the picture of the Baxter building. It's got every floor and what is all in the building. You've got the rockets. You've got at this time, you've got the residencies, laboratories, etc., etc. And Trike's still barking. All right, and then Strange Tales, Spider-Man versus the Human Torch. Okay, and then we've got Dr. Doom. As I said, when we first talked about the Fantastic Four, I asked who's the biggest villain besides Doom. As one should know, Dr. Doom is the villain. And then you got Kurgo from Fantastic Four 7. The Puppet Master, who can make puppets and possess people using said puppets. And now we've got a story about the Fantastic Four meeting Spider-Man. This actually is a reprint off of Spider-Man 1. So they decided to put it in the in the annual. So Spider-Man is thinking that he can get a fortune if he joined Fantastic Four. And then he gets an alarm. He sounds an alarm. And then they see Spider-Man on a web going into a window. He goes in and saying, you shouldn't make it easy for people to drop in. And then a, um, a cage came down on him. But of course, he opens it up. And then starts bopping him. But then Spider-Man judo throws Ben. And of course, Ben tears up the floor and is trying to cause Spider-Man to fall, but he can climb the walls. And Ben is still tossing things. And then he plugs a web into an outlet and tries to electrocute Ben. He tosses in the net goes over Ben, and the shock is keeping Ben at bay. And of course, Reed gets trapped in webs, but Reed escapes and starts getting rolling, trying to roll down Spider-Man. But of course, his agility and his webs keep Reed from catching him. And he's jumping around and he traps Reed again. But then Stu tries, and she's invisible. But of course, his spider senses keeps him out of danger. She tries a stun gun, and he uses a web to protect him. So they go to a wind tunnel that blows him to the wall, and he tangles up the fan, and then the Johnny gets into it, and he just jumps, shows more of his agility to escape the torch. Now, the torch knocks the ceiling down on top of Spider-Man, and then uses some fire bombs to disorient him. But then the spider and his webs. Sue releases the electricity, and Ben is ready to clobber him again, but Reed says, it's time to put a stop to this. So he separates Ben. Ben's ready to bop him, and Spider-Man says he wants to join the Fantastic Four. So he gave a demonstration, and he says, how much does the job pay? What a mercenary. I figure I'm worth your top salary. Ben says he's got rocks in his head. Sue says they're non-profit, and Reed says they go into scientific research, and Johnny says you're in the wrong place. They just keep enough money to pay the expenses. The rest goes into developing their equipment. So he comes back saying, I might have known. You're just like all the rest, ready to believe the worst of anybody. because one of them, it doesn't say who, aren't you wanted by the police? This isn't Outlaws Anonymous. He says, keep me out of your group. Who needs you? I'll make you guys look like pikers. And so Spider-Man swung away. All right. There is the Impossible Man, which we haven't seen yet. There's the Hulk, which we haven't seen yet. The Red Ghost. So these are spoilers. The Mad Thinker. And the last one, which I'm not going to do, is the origin of the Fantastic Four. We've been through this one very recently. So we're going to end the look at the annual. Let's see what things do I see in the chat before we go to the big store. Let's see. Let's see. Submariner in the can. His clothes are made from asbestos. Yep. So basically for Sue, the 60s stereotype of women. Yes, I'm glad, but I am so glad they got their act together and fixed that. Trike has had a rough day. Yeah, he has. Let's see. Spider-Man eats SpaghettiOs out of the can. First thing that popped to my head for some reason. Ben Grimm needs a hobby, I think, like flower arranging or something. Maybe he can play golf. So many in those pinups, and I've never heard of it. Huh? Well, yeah, we did that way back. We showed how the Fantastic Four started. And you're going to get, we'll see the origin all the time. Great idea. He already seems to be teed off. And is there a 60s monotype of women? All right. So now we're going to get to Fantastic Four number 10. And with two special guests. Two special guests in this one. First off, we've got the return of Dr. Doom. He actually ended up in space the last time we saw him. And there is Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Stan says, how's this for a twist? We got Dr. Doom as one of the Fantastic Four. And Mr. Fantastic is the villain. Our fans ought to flip over this young. All right, so here we go. And there are I know you like to see these. There are all the ads that you know and you love here that wish we could actually get now. I can paralyze a 200-pound attacker with just one finger, yet I only weigh 93 pounds. The Oriental system of Ubiwaza. Ooh. All right, so it is the return of Dr. Doom. And here we see Reed is taking photos with a camera, hoping to get an idea on how Sue becomes invisible. Sue's over there saying, Johnny, your flame is on. So he flamed off, and Reed was actually able to get a picture of her outline. And then a signal from the Fantastic Four signal. The Fantastic Four emergency signal goes up, and so they think that Ben is in trouble. This is written by Stan Lee, drawn by Jack Kirby, with inking by Dick Ayers. So they're trying to go out, and the door is jammed. How heroic! 3 of the Fantastic Four are trapped in their own building. So Johnny was going to use flames, but Reed stopped them because of the flames might have affected that nuclear device. So Reed does his stretching, and he stretches out, goes to the wrong aircraft, and he comes back. He has to retract his arm. He says, "I feel like my muscles were caught in a wringer." And Johnny concentrated his heat so it burns without heat. He opens the door. Now they see that the flare came from nearby, so that they just walk out of the building. Johnny flames on, scaring people, thinking he's going to hurt him. And Reed slithers by a crowd, and somebody's over there saying, "Oh, you're so adorable." And a bum is trying to kiss the Invisible Girl. She disappears, and almost gets run down by a car. And he hits a hydrant, and both the officer and the driver said, "Oh, yes." All right, so they go to Alicia's house, and they're all saying, "Are you in trouble?" And Ben says, "No." Since when do I have to be in trouble in order to send for you? Alicia says she wanted him to call it. And she drew some, he showed statues that she sculpted of all their villains. Mole Man, Miracle, Mr. Miracle, the Skrulls, Dr. Doom, and Namor. But Reed was just surprised that she can't see, but she's got this talent. And Sue's over there saying, "Why do you have to include Namor?" And saying the Submariner is not as bad. Reed very shyly wants to talk about the Submariner. And Sue says, "No, not right now." So he hasn't asked her yet, evidently. It looks like Sue is playing hard to get. And then Stan and Jack are working on the next story for Dr. Doom. And talk about breaking the fourth wall. Because you got Lee and Kirby, and now you have Dr. Doom come in, and they can't believe him. They can't believe it. and they were asking how he saved himself from being hurled into space. But now he's working on revenge, and he takes off his mask and scares the daylights out of him. And he says, "I do not blame you for shrinking from the sight of me. I still cannot bear to gaze on my face myself. But I have to remove it, or I feel it will strangle me." And he orders the two of them to call Mr. Fantastic if they value their lives. And there is another pinup of the Invisible Girl with the controls to her portion of the Fantastic. And then let's see. You can do jujitsu. Free. Oh, this is the fighting page. You can do jujitsu. You can hypnotize. Oh, electrical experiments. And dancing. You too can learn to dance. All right, so let's see what's out there. Hey, comic. Huge comic. All right, so we got the Comic Relief Crusader. All right. Did she? Any? All right, let's go. You shoot your eyes out, kid. Poems twice. She can't see, which explains why she can't do anything good. Actually, she can see. They really work on explaining her powers. And hello, comic. It's meta before it was even fashionable. Yeah. Hypnotism and dancing. Yeah. All right. So that's the chat right now. We'll continue the story. All right. That's a pretty sophisticated control panel. All right. Okay, so Doom says, tell him they want to discuss a story with you, and if they want to warn him, it'll be their fate will be worse than this ashtray. So he blasts the ashtray. And of course, Stan is over there saying, I want to see Mr. Fantastic. And it's Lee and Kirby wanting you to Reed to go to their studio. And Reed said, I was just over there. And Ben is over there lifting weights, saying if they don't stop making him uglier than he is, he's going to go over there and wrap this weight around their neck. And let's see. They want to stretch his clothes to make sure he's got a stretch suit in case it's needed. Reed gets there and gasses Reed. And then he tells them to call the others and tells them that Dr. Doom will be waiting for them. And he teleports by means of the mystic science only known to Dr. Doom. So they disappear, and he goes to they're in his laboratory. He's got a mental teleporter so that he can think of a place and he can be there. Man, Star Trek before Star Trek. He says that Reed was responsible for the device or for the device. And then he explains that he was in space on a meteor, but then aliens called the Ovoids pick him up. And he's ready to shoot at him, but they say that they don't mean him harm. And of course, they've got telekinetic powers. Doom's already thinking about stealing the powers, stealing their secrets. And then they have someone who is dying, but what they do, they have the ability to switch bodies. So the dying person puts his mind into a new body, making them all practically immortal. So Doom learned their secrets and went through a teleporter beam back to Earth. So he is ready to defeat the Fantastic Four. And Reed says, "No, you're not going to beat us." So what he does is he uses the newly gained powers to switch bodies. So now he is now Reed Richards, and Reed Richards is in Dr. Doom's body. Although Reed still has his mental capacities. And then, of course, Reed is saying, "You won't get away with it." And he's saying, "You're whistling in the dark, mister." Man, that's not very regal of him. I now possess all of your physical powers plus my own magic knowledge of the black arts. You can't ever be a threat to me again. So Reed attacks Doom, and Doom uses Reed's stretching powers to knock Reed Doom. I'm getting confused. And subdues Reed Doom. So he wants to use Reed to destroy the others. And Ben just naturally goes and enters the door at Ben style. Okay. So now we're at the next dance. Tiki Gods. So is that sort of like a tiki drink? Are we going to go to a tiki bar? Only 59 cents. That'll get you a tiki head. That'll get you a free pass into a tiki bar. And ugly blackheads out in seconds with vacuum tech. Ugh. Boy, they should have came up with some 10-day trial offer with scientific vacuum out action. Okay, so let's see where we're at in the chat. Okay. Just Dance. Okay. David Bowie, Just Dance. Okay. So we haven't huge. Huge and invisible. Tiki bar where the clock goes tiki taki. All right. So let's go to and now part 3, the end of Mr. Fantastic. And Ben says, so Lee and Kirby were right. You did return. I'm gonna make you wish you went back to where you came from. And Doom is egging Ben on. And Johnny says you never know what trick Dr. Doom will start next. And wait, I'm not Dr. Doom, I'm Reed. Do you understand? I'm Reed. And he's saying, look into my eyes, listen to my voice, trust your senses. But of course, Doom Fantastic tries to ensure that they have Dr. Doom. And Sue, I think Sue's starting to get a little skeptical. Why would an evil genius like Dr. Doom try and fool us with such a ridiculous story? And he pulled out that matter transmitter, that transporter, and Reed is still pleading for Ben to let him go. And Reed, Doom is saying, "We caught you again, Doom, and you'll never escape." And then they've come up with some certain ideas, like Johnny's gonna make a flaming moat that Doom would be trapped in, or a cell to keep him trapped, and then of course toss him in a crevice and shove a boulder over him that no one can bulge except the Thing. All right. So, but Doom has a better idea. They toss him into an unbreakable plexiglass prison, and Doom assures that there's sufficient air in the dome, and they'll keep him safe here. Sue's a little worried there. So Reed is trapped in Doom's body, trapped in a special cell with only enough oxygen for 1 hour. And Reed is trying to get sick. I'm getting confused. Doom is telling Reed to struggle so that his oxygen will be exhausted. And he's telling him that the others will be disposed in a more ingenious fashion. So Reed heads out, doubly imprisoned behind unbreakable glass and in another body. And Doom has the perfect hideout, the body of Mr. Fantastic. And then you've got join the Clyde Beatty Tropical Animal Club of America and receive a free live pet sent to you from the Tropical Animal Farm in Miami, Florida. And so this kid has got the lizard. Wasn't your mother mad? No, it's the cleanest pet I ever had. And then, of course, Grit. All right. Darn you, Doom. Darn you, Doom. I wonder if anybody in the pod has ever done Grit, and if it was ever any. Did you get worthwhile swag? And then they're back at the Baxter building, and then there's these little animals walking around, shrunken animals. Sue says, they're not toys, Johnny. Incredible as it seems, they're alive. They ran out when we opened Reed's lab door. And Ben says, what new experiment is he working on now, and how does it tie up to this newspaper headline? That says, zoo animals missing. And so they're gathering up the animals. Sue says, you know how angry he gets if anyone's interferes with his work. And they gather up the critters. And Reed or Doom asks, what's going on here? And they ask, what's going on? And Doom asks where they came from, and Ben says, blame right, we do. And if you're the Joker who stole them from the zoo, that makes old holier than thou Reed as much a lawbreaker as anyone else. And Doom says, don't condemn me until you've heard my motives. I did it only for you. Look, do you see this little device? It's my new reducing ray. And even when Sue asks, Doom says, all right, sister, you're asking for it. That speech is so un-Doom-like. You know, Doom is pompous. This is kind of like a thug off the street. He says, all right, sister, you're asking for it. I'll come up with a story that'll have the three of you begging me to seal your own doom. And he said, he said that the ray was to help increase their powers. And he goes back and says that that the dinosaurs ruled the earth, but unfortunately their bodies were too large while their brains remained the same until they grew themselves out of existence. Actually, I thought it was a meteor that took out the dinosaurs. But what if they were smaller? If their bodies had been a fraction of their size, then their brains would be much larger by comparison, and that dinosaurs could still be the rulers of the earth. Good point. So he says he's going to use the reducing device and subject them to the rays. And then they'll reduce in size, but still keep their powers. So he would shrink and then go back to normal size and have his powers increase. Sue could make any part of her body invisible by wishing it and control the invisibility for as long as she wished. And then he says, for the Thing, once the powers have been magnified, he will turn back to human. and do it merely by wishing it. And of course, he put he dangled Alicia in front of him to get him thinking about it. And of course, Johnny's excited. Ben is saying he's going to do it. And then Sue's also saying, ladies first. Boy, Doom really got their vanity. He thinks they fell for the story like a ton of bricks. Richards would have seen through it, but a little double talk can fool any other unsuspecting victims. And he's going to perfect his ray and get ready to destroy the others. So he's saying, they're gone, the fools. I'm enjoying this too much. I can't end it so soon. I've got to toy with them a little longer to savor my plan, to cherish the thought of my greatest victory. And the thing is, the ray does work, it does shrink, but the shrink, if he keeps the ray on, the object's going to shrink until nothing. And that's what he's planning on doing, shrinking them to nothingness. Okay, back at the dungeon. Raid is still trying to get out. He doesn't want Doom to destroy them. He takes off the mask, uses it as a weapon. All he could do is he makes a little dent in it. He says, I can't crack it enough to get through to the air. Glass is too thick. Nothing short of an explosion would wait. An explosion. That's it. So he takes the oxygen cylinders out. He puts them into the crack and he smashes the other one against it. And the explosion frees him. So he goes to Alicia's house. And he tells them that he's Reed Richards. And telling them that they're in danger. Alicia doesn't recognize the voice, but then Stu is like right behind him, invisible, saying, good thing I was here visiting Alicia when Doom came in. He might have convinced the trusting child. Ooh, this is not good. All right. And be the wheel in the neighborhood with a new Perry wheel. It's new, fun, safer. You can drive your bike like a car. No more old-fashioned handlebars. You can have a round steering wheel. And then kissing dolls. Ooh, smoochy, smoochy. Only 50 cents. Three-dimensional dolls rush together to kiss as soon as they are placed near to other. Great fun for kids 6 to 60. Let's see. Mother told me never to run with lizards, only scissors. I want a nice boa constrictor as a present for my neighbor. Ooh, there's a story there, Snort, huh? That says, we used to read the Grit. What did Grit used to have? What stories did Grit used to have? I don't remember what they had in there. And Fed says, kissing dolls? Yeah. All right. Okay. So And there's their fan page. Dear Stan and Jack, in issue 7 on page 11, you have the fantastic car flying upside down. Since the fantastic car is powered by powerful fans on the bottom, it seems impossible for it to fly in this manner. Anyway, keep up the great work. Dave has a good point, but the fantastic car's great speed gives it enough momentum to maintain its trajectory while turning over until it once again regains its normal flying position with its air jets on the bottom. Next time they're going to have 2 pages of mail. So let's see. Yeah. All right. And Storyland series. Exciting subjects for all ages. The Little Magic Viewer. Remember those Little Magic Viewers where you see the very cool things? You got pictures like let's see, what subjects? Story of Fire, Land of Oz, Johnny Appleseed, Pinocchio, How Color TV Works. Huh. Oh, and there's it. You can get an accordion. Small down payment, buy on easy terms. And you too can have your very own squeeze box. 5-day. I know you want one, Fez. I know you want to play. Yeah. Ooh, new accordions. Alerting the neighbors. Yes. I remember Grit had a lot of local interest articles, but can't remember the rest. True. I never, like I said, we never got it. Okay. So Sue bonked Reed with a bass. Sue says, "Lucky I struck a vulnerable spot. Oh, Alicia, if I hadn't been there to tell you the good news about Reed's Ray, I shudder to think what might have happened. I'd better tell the others right away." And Alicia thought, was wondering if it is Doom. As Sue's calling the Fantastic Four, Alicia can sense that this is a good person in here. She says, "I don't understand. How could that be Doom? There's an aura of goodness about him, of nobility." And Sue doesn't believe him. Or believe her. And then Ben comes crashing in, and Ben crashes in, and he's ready to tear Reed apart. Reed says, didn't mean harm. Johnny's trying to calm Ben down, and he's over there saying that he tried to threaten Alicia. And boy, look at that face on the thing. Oh, he's mad. And Reed is saying, "Hear me." And Reed, Ben stops. And they take him back to the fantastic car, and they fly back to the Baxter building. Ben says, I want to know why I couldn't pulverize Doom. What if I'm losing my guts? What if I turn chicken? And Raid or Doom sees Richard's back, and Reed is trying to get them not to talk to Doom. So now he's trying to really work on getting rid of them while Reed can't do anything. So, but then Reed tries to stop Doom. He says, "Don't do it. Don't let him train that ray on you. Believe what you want about me, but don't trust him. He'll destroy you." And Reed trips him. And Ben is over there whispering, "This doesn't sound like Reed. Reed doesn't sound like Reed." And Johnny has an idea. He says there's some construction men excavating a building foundation on the street below. By controlling my heat, I can warm up the particles in the air to cause a mirage, making the dynamite's reflection seem to be right in the room. Stand back and watch. So there's dynamite. Reed goes after to defuse the dynamite. Doom slithers up the vent, and then Ben grabs Reed, and then now they figure out that the bodies were switched. Johnny said, "My trick worked. I knew the real Dr. Doom would try to save his own worthless hide, while the real Mr. Fantastic would try to save the rest of us." And right at that time, they switch bodies again. And Doom is saying, "I failed. I've been defeated again." But he's saying, "You'll never bring me back to justice." And now he's going to use his last ace. So he blasts. He uses his index finger to blast Reed, knocking him out of the way. And he missed Reed, but he hit the panel of the reducing ray, and it blasts. It hits him, and it starts shrinking. Reed turns it off, but he was under it for too long. He starts shrinking and shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and he shrinks to nothingness. So Doom fades away, and then Sue says, "What a way to go." Reed says, "How fitting that he should meet the fate he planned for the rest of them." Reed says, "You'll always be the top dog." And Johnny says, "He always was, but never admitted it." Next time, there'll be more thrilling details about the origin of the Fantastic Four, a special pinup of the Submariner, and meet the Impossible Man. Reserve your copy today. And there you can fix automobiles. What is a Viso analyzer? Well, the most versatile of all troubleshooting equipment. You got an engine tune-up kit, set of tools, and you can mail it to Commercial Trades Institute. more cheap gifts, watches, radios, pillowcases, cameras, faux pearl necklaces, Blair quality product. And then you can learn electronics, radio and television electronics. Ooh. Reward 9,985.50 for this coin. Search for rare coins, old and new. They will pay for $10,000 for a gold coin before 1929. Go to Best Values Company. All right, so that is Fantastic Four and the rest of Fantastic Four Annual number 1 and Fantastic Four number 10. So, what do you think of the return of Dr. Doom and switching bodies with Reed? So that is Snort liked it. All right, Snort liked it. Yeah, he is. He does use that power. He does use that switching bodies several times several times throughout his career. He may be a jerk, but he's still probably the biggest, baddest villain. So, well, what do you think, guys? Think we can get one more in, or probably wind it down? Let's see. I will listen to the chat if we want to go one more story. Okay. Okay, one more? Okay. All right, so we're going to go to issue 11, and then we will call it an evening. This one's going to be offbeat because we get to see the Impossible Man. Issue number 11, The Impossible Man. Also, A Day with the Fantastic Four. Special bonus to our readers, presenting the type of story most requested by your letters and the postcards. Script by Stan Lee, art Jack Kirby, inking Dick Ayers, and lettering Artie Simek. And so they're all going to, the line for the next issue is out the door. And Reed is saying, we got to wait our turn. Sue says, let's come back later. And Johnny says, we should have gotten there sooner. And Ben says, we know how the stories end. And this kid is so excited. His letter's on the fan page. Yay. And of course, there they ends. Now the kids are playing that they are the Fantastic Four. So the kids saying, "We're playing Fantastic Four. See my thing mask? The reason I'm the thing because I'm the strongest. Watch me bend this tin can." But then Ben crunches the street lamp. And then the Fantastic Four give the kids the thrill of their lives. Reed stretches, Sue turns invisible, and Johnny throws firecrackers. And the kids are just awestruck. And really, this is the plan. This is the plan that Reed had for them. He knew they were going to be. They could have been experimented. They could have been turned into freaks or lab experiments. So he decided to make them celebrities. And the mail, and they get fan mail. Mr. Lumpkin, the mailman. He's trying to join the group. He can wiggle his ears. But Reed says, "Nah, not right now." And Sue uses a belt beam to activate the elevator. Okay. They look at all the mail. There's a chick in Fresno who wants to know if I'm going steady. How corny can you get? And then Ding gets a package, and then he gets bopped by a boxing glove. And so he trumps the present, and he's angry at the Yancey Street gang, and he crushes his new dumbbell. So Reed gives Ben a serum, and he starts changing, and he becomes Ben Grimm again, and is worried that Ben is hoping it'll be permanent. And Sue's calling him a living doll. And Johnny, he doesn't want to be around when Ben turns back, so he's going to take off and go work on cars. And now Reed is telling about Ben and his time when they were younger, where they were roommates, Ben and Reed. Ben was the football star. And Ben is saying, "Maybe I did get here on a football scholarship instead of being a brain like you." And Reed Reed says, "Oh, we'll be friends," and they did. Reed was a millionaire's son. Ben was the wrong side of the track, but Reed cheered when Ben made All American. And what about all those prizes you won for accomplishment? And then they both talked about when they were in the war. Now remember, this is the 60s. So the war was only 20 years ago for them. So so Ben was a fighter pilot. And they got it mixed up. He says he became a Marine fighter ace over Okinawa and Guadalcanal. It's the other way around. And then and Reed worked for the OSS and worked with the resistance. All right, so they were heavily involved in the war, World War II. We're gonna go a little faster, so I'm just gonna skim over the ads. Again, you could do the dancing, you could do the jujitsu. You can play games with fun for boys, hypnotism. Oh, Reed had a girlfriend before Sue. Now this is interesting. Sue saying it's painful, but Reed was saying it was Sue that he was talking about, and that since they were kids, so now we're starting to get a little bit of the plot holes. How old Sue and how old's Reed, and of course, Sue is bringing up the Submariner. And then they're talking about they're doing the spaceship, and this was actually the first time we find out that Reed was actually rich. And then he needed a pilot, and Ben was over there saying nah. And now they're all trying to guilt him to buy the pilot. And of course, Sue is saying, Ben, nobody can force you to pilot that ship, but I'm going along, and so is Johnny. At least we'll show Reed we're not afraid. And Ben said, no one ever used that word to me before. I'll do it. And then they take off and go into the cosmic storm. And the cosmic storm bombarded them. And then they crash on Earth. And then they start transforming. First off, Ben turns into the thing. Johnny turns into fire. Sue disappears, and Reed becomes a rubber band. Then they reminisce about it, but then Sue's over there starting to mention that she got some really upsetting letters. And then she says a number of readers have said she doesn't contribute to the team and better off without her. And she wonders if they're right. And Reed and Ben are Reed and Ben are upset. They're saying, and then he talks about Abe Lincoln. And All right. I'm here.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Hello. Hello, Gary Ambrosia. And hello, Phantom Outsider. Okay. Yes, indeed. Um, how much of that did you get? Because it's probably how much of that story did you get? Because I don't even. I was too busy reading the story and didn't realize that the didn't realize that it was still that it booted me. So we lost about 3 minutes. Okay, didn't get much. Well, I think on this note, we will, being that it's a half an hour, yeah, 7 minutes ago, yeah. We'll just postpone it for the next Fantastic Four reviews. And we'll chat a little bit and then it's show notes. Hello, Gary Ambrosia, who says, who said, meanwhile, Snortopopus Cuber is on his way in his A10 intruder to the rescue with Super Roar Cannon. Film at 11. Let's see. Let's go back. Yeah. Yes. Hail, Gary. Danu. Gumby. A woman never tells her real age. Yeah, we all know they stay 29 forever. Let's see. What happened to the feed? You know what happened. So Gumby attacked, and Raymond called in Trike and Mir Pudgy to repulse him. Gumby called in the Pokey reserves in darkness and silence. Yep. Oh, yeah, Net went down. Net went down on my side. Okay. The guy that says Dr. Doom got to King Dolphin, reading such not nice stories about him. Yeah. The internet dropped and he got trouble getting back in. Darn you, Doom. Doom. Can't do that. And then we saw the A10 intrude, the A10 Warthog. No pick, no sound. Pop Culture Breakdown chat is live. I won. All right. And there is the Pop Culture Breakdown link. Okay. Oh, okay. Thought I went personally blind and all the way deaf. No, we're good. Right. And that's when the first battalion of regimental ferrets were called in to undermine Gumby's position with sticky fudge mines and Velcro. Ooh. Ooh. That would be messy. Phantom Outsider says, is this a polar bear? Is this some polar bear mischief? Yeah. Yep. Gumby strikes again. Gumby is an agent of doom. Tim says, Gary, for movies we like, how about famous episodes from TV shows? They used to blame gremlins for this stuff because they are small and innocent, but it's really the polar bears. It's always the polar bears. Careful, he'll eat you. All right. Well, I think on this note, since Gumby decided he got upset at the story, I'm going to, we'll go to show notes.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Reagan and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
Okay, we'll start with take care every human dolphin doggo, Dalek ferret eagle, hedgehog, and Barbados thread snake. Copyrighted, trademark, a wholly owned subsidiary of King Dolphin TV. We ought to make it the dolphinwars.com. All right. Oh, wow. Carla's birthday is on the Saturday night stream on FET. And yes, I'll explain that. Okay. We're at show notes. Get the calendar up. Okay. All right. This Saturday, I'll be on the producer and I will be at an away mission. So we will not be around on Saturday. But you know what that means? It means Sunday, 4:00 p.m. Just 'cause rattles the roof on Sunday. Let's see here. So there'll be another marathon with FET. But yes, Sunday. We'll be on Unforgiven, Uncensored. Live and in living color or color if you're in the UK. All right. So, and then next Wednesday, we'll be showing you guys, we'll be taking a flight on the F-16 Falcon. So we will be doing a Falcon game on Wednesday. On the 26th, time to go big or go home. It's just 'cause the 3rd year anniversary of King Dolphin TV, my birthday, and Trike's birthday. So it's going to be epic. It's definitely going to be go big or go home. Trike will be ready. On the 30th, we're going to try for the 3rd time to do the aircraft maintenance show with Eric Judy. Just because it will be on Saturday from then on. On the 6th, I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. And The 13th will be the third annual Veterans Day show. And the 20th, I'm not sure yet, but the 27th, Thanksgiving Eve, where it is going to be Slaughter on the Water. The epic battle of Titans. Slaughter on the Water. There we go. We've got negotiations for the venue. We've got a card girl, Agent Pepsi 1, and it's gonna be a blast. They may be feeding my body. They may replace turkey bones with my legs after Slaughter. Let's see. Snort says, "Happy birthday." Sandra says, "Trike's birthday is Tuesday. Happy birthday, Trike. Happy birthday, Trike. Happy being born, Trike." Yes. Epic October keeps your mind off the cold. And Comic Relief Crusader says, "What? Raymond's birthday's coming up? I better get dressed fancy." Like. Snort says, "Wear your best dress." Oh dear. Phantom says, "What kind of aircraft maintenance? Because I dismantled the Blackbird and need help putting it back together." Comic says, "Look at those mighty pics of Raymond's." Fez says, "Coming soon, Robo Raymond." Legata says, "Did you fill out the waiver to donate your battered body to science?" I don't know yet. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Okay, anything else on the show notes? Good to carry us through November. Like I said, probably gonna have to fill out those extra dates. And that is show notes. Oh, you guys better do your homework, because I'm gonna offer a no prize to the person who can name every one of these interviews that are on show notes. It goes very quickly, so you're going to have to really work on finding out who they are. In order.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
Tell you what, that's going to be a Herculean task, because with it going so fast, I can't even figure out who's in the bumper. Okay. Let's see. Homework, but I graduated ages ago. The dog ate my gnome work. That means I have to turn on my brain. This is your brain. This is your brain on eggs. All right. So that was show notes. So I hope you enjoyed the Max Redstone was last, and that's all we need to know. No, Phantom, you got to step your game up. Step your game up. So, all right. So let me thank everybody who was here. I hope everybody enjoyed the Fantastic Four reviews. And despite Gumby ruling its ugly, bouncy head and messing up the flow. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you, Gary Ambrosio, for being here. Please check him out on Pop Culture Breakdown. Phantom Outsider, thank you for being here. Taylor Swift, no, Nat G. I refuse to say that person's name. Nat G, thank you for being here. Okay. And now the lifeguards. Starting with our producer, Sandra, a King Dolphin TV production, King Dolphin TV in color with a Sandra Feliciano production. Love you, honey. We had John Rendell, our co-host on Saturdays. He will be probably co-hosting the FET stream on Saturday. FKHC 2005, Tim, thank you for being here. Legatus Legion, thank you again. As always, it was fun. Comic Relief Crusader, huge. Hope you'll be there for both that and Just Cause there, fans, man. So that is everybody, including Slaughter Puppers, Cooper, Dot Scream, hashtag Roar. Great show. It's always good reviews. But Snort, you always make the show. See you Sunday. Let's rock the place. Hint, I have someone waiting for you, Snort. Let's see. Bye, y'all. Yep, there's Trike. Trike.bark, hashtag woof. Trike.bark, hashtag. All right. So, I am glad you all dropped on by. Please join us on Sunday, and we will see you. And just remember, let's keep making some waves. Good night, all, and I love you. Okay. StreamYards, I don't like you. Why do you provide a service that it won't work? This outro video. All right. Good night, everybody.